Am I the asshole for not telling my family which of my children is biologically mine? I have two kids, Clark and Kent. While they have the same father, only one of them is biologically my child. They were born within 6 months of each other. The boys are currently 6, and for various reasons I have full custody of both of them. I didn't speak to anyone in my family for several years, and we got back in touch in 2019. Due to the boys' ages, my family know I couldn't have carried both, unless I have the gestation period of a hamster or the longest labor ever. I have explained to them how this all came to be, but in my explanation I neglected to tell them which was my biological child. Due to my ex having a type, the other woman looked enough like me that the boys could pass for twins. Same dark hair, blue eyes, pale skin, and both cleft chins and dimples. My brother jokes that they look like tiny supermen. People who know them refer to them as twins because aside from a few minor differences, they're practically identical. Frankly, if they were closer in age and I'd had full custody of both from the time they were born, I suspect I would have mixed them up a lot as babies. Shortly before Clark's birthday last year, my mum asked if she could see Clark's birth certificate. I asked why and she said she wanted to know the exact time he was born, so I told her. She asked if she could see the certificate anyway. I asked why. She said she just wanted to check. I said I'm his mother, I know when he was born. Then she asked the same thing about Kent and we went through the same conversation all over again. Mum eventually admitted that she just wanted to see the birth mother's name on each certificate, which isn't even how that works, and I told her as much. This led to an argument where my stance was that I'm their mother, biology is irrelevant. Mum says if biology is irrelevant then it's not a big deal to tell her which of them is biologically mine. I said if she's so hung up on biology, then clearly it's a big deal to her and I don't want it to be a big deal, especially as the boys themselves don't know. Mum feels this is incredibly selfish, narcissistic, and overall wrong. She feels that if biology isn't such a big issue, then I should have no problem telling her whether Clark or Kent is my biological son, and that accusing her of potential favoritism or something similar with her bio-grandchild is an unfair judgment with no actual reasoning to it. My boyfriend agrees that I shouldn't tell anyone at least until my sons have decided for themselves if they want to know and want other people to know, but my entire family agree with Mum that I'm being unreasonably selfish and that my actions now are more likely to cause issues than Mum's potential actions later. Am I in the wrong?
Not the asshole. If she ever finds out, your mother will favor the biological grandchild, otherwise it wouldn't matter to her who was on the birth certificate.
Not the asshole, totally and completely. You know she's going to make a big deal out of it the way she has pestered you and getting the family to be her flying monkeys. I sincerely hope you have their birth certificates locked up tight in a safe or safety deposit box so she cannot say she, accidentally, came across it. Would she resort to contacting your ex? Would he tell her? If you are cordial with him or at least if he's a little bit reasonable, would it be a good idea to give him a heads up that your mom is pushing hard to know which boy is yours biologically and you don't want her to know? So not the asshole. You are Clark and Kent's great aliases by the way, mother. You love them equally. They are your sons and no matter the circumstances, you are an awesome mum, and who cares about biology? When to quote the great philosophers John, Paul, George and Ringo, all you need is love, you love your boys, and it's all they need. So tell your mum to mind her own business.
Not the asshole. Your whole family sounds toxic as hell. Wouldn't surprise me if they try to send your kids' DNA to 23andMe. You might want to hit up just no family if you haven't already for support and insight. Your mom sounds like the Wicked Witch and the rest of the fam are her flying monkeys.
Not the asshole. Of course the children should know, and I'm sure Op will tell them when they are ready. Until then, no one needs to know which one is not biologically yours, except for who you want to tell. Stay strong, Op. I have a suspicion that your family will turn their stance around soon, hopefully.
NTA. Your boyfriend is right. If the kids don't know, hopefully they have an age-appropriate explanation of the situation. Which of them is biologically yours and don't want to know, then you shouldn't risk having them find out from your mom or some other family member your mom told. The fact that your mom is getting upset because she thinks you're implying that she will treat one differently while not being able to provide a reason why she would need to know kinda confirms that's what she going to do.
Not the asshole. Your mother is looking for her real grandchild. You're right not to set your kids up for that heartache.
Tell half of your family that Clark is your bio baby and tell the other half that Kent is. Then sit back and cackle like a witch when they start to cop to it. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole, and I would be honest with her, like, I don't trust you to not treat them differently if you were to find out which wasn't mine biologically, and the more you push, then more certain I am that not telling you is the right call. They are both my sons and I will protect them from unequal treatment by you and everyone else. Stop pushing or it will be another several years with no contact.
It's always interesting to me that people go NC with family, which is not easy, let them back in, but then still question if they're an asshole when their family is inevitably toxic or inappropriate again. Not the asshole. The maternity of your sons matters to her for all the wrong reasons. I would urge you to consider what they bring to your life. How was your life before with your family? How was your life during no contact? Are they bringing you anything but kindness, acceptance, and joy now? Also, it sounds like your husband cheated and got a woman pregnant at about the same time as you, and you're raising both children. You are amazing. I hope I would be able to do something that's selfless and kind, but I just don't know if I could. I'm going to go put on a hat so I can take it off to you.
Not the asshole. There's an ulterior motive for her to be doing this. No one needs to know until your boys know. End of story. Put the birth certificates in a safe. Tell her to look at your birth certificate if she want to see a mother's name is on it. Don't listen to family who say you're wrong. It's not their business to speak their opinion to you. You do what's right for your family.
Not the asshole, and kudos to you for preventing the favoritism that is likely to come if they were to know. I've seen it happen too many times with stepkids to think for an instant it wouldn't occur with at least one family member.
Not the asshole. Nothing wrong with that at all. Although keep in mind that, if you can, you should get any medical, genetic history from the bio mom if you can. What do you mean by, mum eventually admitted that she just wanted to see the birth mother's name on each certificate, which isn't even how that works. What country are you from? That's exactly how it works in the countries that I already knew of and the several that I just Googled to make sure I wasn't crazy. The bio mom's name is one of the required pieces of information on a birth certificate.
Not the asshole. If they keep pressing, I think it's not unreasonable to stop talking to family for several more years lol. But if she doesn't drop it, seriously, go low contact for a while.
Not the asshole. If one is adopted, then wouldn't you have been issued a birth certificate with your name on it? That is how I've seen it, just curious. You're right about her motives, by the way. Of course, no one in their right mind would want to be called out for that, but there is no other legitimate reason for her to have pestered you about it. She has no right to know that information before they do. It is your son's business until they decide to tell anyone else themselves.
Not the asshole. Also, not serious question. Do you know for sure which one is the one you birthed at this point? Really though, this is touching and sweet and sounds like you and boyfriend are absolutely nailing this parenting thing like a Roman soldier. Clark and Kent are lucky to have such an awesome mom and dad. Whatever BFS title to them is. Keep up the great work.
Not the asshole. And my best guess is that your suspicions about why she wants to know which is biologically yours are correct. It truly doesn't matter which is biologically yours, as you love them both equally and want them to grow up in a loving home. This might be hindered if the grandma favors one over the other due to biology. You're doing the right thing, Imo. Not the asshole. Your mother is annoying.
I'm leaning towards not the asshole, but info has your mum said why she wants to know.
Not the asshole. This kind of shit makes my blood boil. You're their mother, blood or not, and if your mom is so hung up on the biological aspect, she's not being a good grandparent. If she loves both boys, it shouldn't matter which came out of your vagina. She claims it's not a big deal, but she's making it a big deal by pestering you and getting the rest of the family in on it. The only people that have a right to know and to decide who to tell are the boys. It's their story. I have 2 adopted older brothers that I didn't even know were adopted until my father, their stepdad, got mad at me and told me when I was a teenager, I guess to try to hurt me. It literally did not and does not matter. They're nothing less than my big brothers. Just like both of those boys are 100% your sons.
Not the asshole. They're both your kids. As they grow up, you can explain to them how you came to adopt one and birth the other, and emphasize at the time to them that it changes nothing. But that's a conversation for them, For later, for nothing more than honesty, and so your non-biological child can be aware that there may be other genealogical issues they may need to research later. Grandma doesn't need to know shit. Just tell her, fine, you wanna know? I adopted them both. And see how she responds to that.
Not the asshole, none of her business.
Not the asshole. This is a very transparent, no pun intended, ploy from your mother to find out which one is biologically related to her. As you have adopted the kid who is not related to you, the point is irrelevant. They are both your children, regardless of how they came to, or from, you. If they can't accept that you have two children, that's on him. But keep making them uncomfortable by not telling them which one was from your body. Family's not just blood.
It's really none of their business. If you consider the child yours, they should too. Not the asshole. The answer is no. If you bring it up again, you're cut off. If I find out you are talking about this with other people, you are cut off. If I find out you are doing independent research about it, you're cut off. If you say anything other than, I understand, once I stop talking, right now, you're cut off. Not the asshole. Your mother's behavior tells me that she views one of those children as an imposter. In a household where children are valued for being children, it doesn't matter where they came from. Her wanting to know who the real child is tells you everything you need to know. It matters to her who the biological child is.
Not the asshole, your mom is looking to play favorites. Not the asshole. And I totally agree with your boyfriend. This information is private to your immediate family and for your sons to share if, when they are ready, with people they choose to share it with. Not the asshole. I feel disgusted. I have a cousin, he was by my uncle since he was 6 months old. He is dad and only dad. He sperm donor tried to start something when my cousin was 13. My cousin was like, F off, he is my only dad. Okay, enough of the side rant. Well, here is the thing, everyone knows my uncle's story. Well, a few times he went to visit family and one of the pair would be like, hey, let's get his 2 kids something nice. The other would be like, he has 3 kids and yup, you guess it, response as well, only 2 are his. Let's just say that did not end well because my uncle is his dad and stopped talking to those people. If people find out, be sure that is going to happen.
Between you and your mom, you are not the asshole. However, your sons do deserve to know critical information about themselves, including who they are biologically related to. I really hope that even though you haven't told them which one is biologically your son, that they at least know one of them isn't biologically yours. The longer you keep such a huge secret, the bigger the fallout will be when the information comes to light.
Wait a second. Are you telling me you were pregnant during 9 months, gave birth to a child, and somehow your family didn't already figure out that one is the one who is biologically yours? Seriously. They just forfeited any claim to a right to know they could have, which wasn't really that much anyway. Not the asshole.
Well, not the asshole, but I really want to know is how your ex got you to take care of his and his mistress's presumed child. Like, damn, you are a saint, and I am sure that child is happy that you are his mother.
Not the asshole. Your mother is clearly lying about bio not being a big deal to her. You are doing the right thing.
Not the asshole. Is she drafting a will?
Not the asshole. You're awesome. I think you're making the right choice because if biology doesn't matter, then they shouldn't push to know. Also, I don't know everything, but it sounds like you kids are very lucky to have a mom like you.
Not the asshole at all. It's not their business. And well done for keeping these little brothers together.
Not the asshole. As a twin that witnessed horrific favoritism as a young child, do yourself a favor and warn the family that you will cut contact with them over this issue. And that they're on thin ice. They are your sons. They don't care, you don't care, and neither should they. I recommend the timeout approach and leave approach every time this gets asked or you get spoken to about it. So who is it? Clark or Kent? Just kidding. I think it's natural for your mom to be curious, but she should have stopped when you gave her the explanation. Her being insistent about it makes me think she has ulterior motives. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole, and I have a feeling that you're a pretty kind and caring person, since I don't see how else you could be in this situation. Carry on with confidence.
Not the asshole. That's no one's business but yours and your son's. Not the asshole. This is solely your call. Your mother's attempt to circumvent your wishes by asking to see the birth certificates is an insult to your intelligence and proves that your suspicions about their behavior towards your sons, if the truth is revealed, will definitely be to favor your biological son. Keep protecting your children from your family's bias.
Not the asshole. The only people that need to know are you, the kids themselves, and the doctor if you're all seen by the same one. The child that is not biologically yours needs to know their medical maternal history at some point if possible, but if not, life goes on. Your mother can either have 2 grandchildren or no grandchildren from you. If it's not a big issue to her, then why is she snooping?
Not the asshole. There's clearly a good reason why you were no contact with these people for years.
Info. How does your family treat both of your sons? Also, how long have your boys been back in your family's life? Not the asshole. The only person who has a right to know who is their biological mother is the individual child. I caught in the comments about the therapist, and it sounds like it's being handled wonderfully. And so your family thinks. Not telling your mom will cause issues later. Sounds like mom's personal issues that she needs to get over. I agree this your son's information to tell, and you are not being selfish for refusing to violate their privacy to satisfy either a desire for favoritism, or just gossip fodder. Boys' privacy and mental well-being, and being treated fairly by family, their personal desire to know intimate information.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. She has no reason for needing this info. Your boys know you are their mom and love them no matter what. All that matters.
Not the asshole. The only people that need to know which son is yours biologically are your sons, and that's genuinely only if something comes up that could affect them as a result of the genes you or their other mother could have given them, or possibly their own children if they choose to have them in the future.
Honestly, why do you think that the information will ever need to come out? I mean, the boys may decide that they aren't interested in finding out who is your son, since you are apparently treating them as if they are almost twins. I don't see a reason for anyone to need to know. Not the asshole. You are doing the right thing, I believe.
Not the asshole. You are raising another woman's child as your own. Your mother demands to know which of the children carries her DNA, but somehow you are the narcissist. That's some special kind of ignorance right there. It doesn't matter where the babies came from. You are their mother, and she is the grandmother of both of them. Full stop.